So ladies and gentlemen, friends of Michael and friends of each other, we're here today in a place known very well by Michael Bullock, one of his favoured places on our campus at UBC, to pay tribute to him as a prolific writer, a translator and an artist. Tonight, as we probably all know by now, it's a full moon, and that's very appropriate for Michael with his book Avatars of the Moon, and so it's a highly appropriate and auspicious day on which to celebrate the author of that book, Avatars of the Moon. I want therefore to congratulate, first of all, Laurianne and her husband Gus for having chosen this day and this weather. They obviously have special influence upstairs somewhere, and this place, which is very special for our tributes to Michael. It's also very touching that they, who were able to do so much to help Michael the octogenarian, have now worked so hard once again on his behalf and for us all assembled here in organising the day's events. And thank you both very sincerely indeed. I also want to thank all of you here who have made the effort to come to pay homage to an extraordinary man and artist, in particular at the cost of perhaps embarrassing them a little, but it can't be helped. I thank our visitors from Hong Kong, Serena and Alan, who have flown here specially for this occasion. I cannot help feeling that Michael, in fact, has brought us all here, not only to celebrate Michael, but to celebrate friendship itself, as well as art and that artist who meant so much to us all. And I'd like to say, first of all, before we start the actual tributes, that Michael lived until he was 90. And I know from talking to various Chinese people that when somebody dies at the age of 90, it's not a question simply of sadness. One can smile as well, because it's very rare to be able to live until you're 90. And so I think Michael would have appreciated the smiles at a day of tributes like this. Despite his knowledge of the wickedness of some of us earthlings and of the dirty devices of this world, he maintained his joy in life, his personal optimism and jauntiness, his good humour, his benevolence. He was optimistic despite his darkest visions. His circle of friends have all known this great generosity of spirit. As an artist, Michael was utterly dedicated, serious and very industrious. As a translator, he was not interested in theories of translation, but in actual achievement. You could say he subscribed to the just do it school of translation. But he also wrote original poems, novels and plays. He painted and sketched his organic forms, not so much still life, as life forms in convoluted motion. His artistic career stretched from just before World War II until the last few days of his life on Earth, when he finished his last book. I finish with a tribute in the form of a poem I wrote a few days ago for Miriam, Michael's daughter, and for his son Marcus. Snowbird of Summer, for Miriam and Marcus. When his bird hands had spread, perched on sheets, on pillows, that then were settled snow, he took off for lands we don't yet know, and met eternal summer in a walled and secret place where he calls your names. Eclipsed in his season, he sails now under a moon at the full, in a dream, a swoon of colours that ring fabled orbs where dark becomes noon, with stars ever near and ever far, his flash of energy freed to race, now glides, yet never fades, all aflame, becomes thought's blinding beam that swings across strange tongues, alive with images and words that burn in the fire of visions, intuitions to free what in the body had hung. All energy, mapped out of sight, migrates in its seasons, day and night, as he does, and at the speed of light. Thank you. Well, I'd now want to ask if Serena Jin could say a little bit about Michael.
Thank you, Andrew. Well, I must let you know, when I first heard about the sad news of Michael's passing from Jenny, I was so sad, I just couldn't help bursting out into tears. But coming here all the way from Hong Kong, now that I'm here in Vancouver, especially in the Botanical Gardens at UBC, under the sunshine in this place, suddenly I feel I'm no longer sad, because I heard something. I heard just now the laughters of the youngsters, of the children, and then I saw many, many butterflies. Did you see the butterflies? Yeah. Just now, when Andrew was saying something, reciting his poem, one big butterfly just,
Michael's spirit.
I'm quite sure. I must say, Michael, you're here. You're now here with us. And he's naughty. I don't know where he is. Maybe he's dangling in one of the bushes. I mean the trees. Or maybe he's hiding behind the bushes. And maybe he becomes a carp in the water. Or maybe he's one of the butterflies. Especially, maybe, I'm quite sure he turned into a purple butterfly, because that's the color he loves so much. That's why I'm wearing a purple butterfly.
Oh.
I got it from Paris years ago, and then I took it out and I carried over to Vancouver. I'm sure it's here, it's near my heart. Michael is still with me. He will always be with me, deep in my heart. Like Andrew said, I have invited him to visit the Chinese university for many, many years. So Michael fell in love with not the Chinese culture alone, of course, Chinese university, Chinese culture, Chinese literature, and the beautiful Chinese ladies.
Right.
And he told me there are 3 cities he loved so much. That is, they are Vancouver, London, and Hong Kong. And he's been urging me to translate his works. And I was so busy, so I only started translating his Stone and Shadow many years ago, and got it published in Beijing. And then I translated his story, the story of Noah's, and that was published in Nanjing, also years ago. After about a period of 10 years, I thought Michael's having his 90th birthday. I really have to do something for him. And I thought the best thing is to translate his colors, because his life is so colorful. So I said, Michael, let me translate your colors. And he said yes. And I promised him that the book will be out in mid-July, right before the Olympic Games. For that, he wrote specially a poem on Olympic colors for this book. So this book just came out a few days ago. But the sad thing is, when the book was coming out, it's only 2 or 3 days later, because Michael couldn't have a chance to read it or to see it. So the only thing I can do is bring the book personally from Hong Kong to this place. This is a tribute to Michael. And I think all my friends will have lots of things to say. Let me stop here and thank you.